Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Novelyn Chiraro, and I'm here to inspire you, motivate you, and energize you so you can lift your fullest potential. Today, I want to share with us yet another relevant topic, but also one that is educational, and that is how to develop your life map. So the reality is that life map is a very rare concept for many people. For some of you, you're hearing about life maps for the very first time, or maybe you have encountered the concept. And I must note, there's so many ways of plotting your life map. Some people use pictures, some people use graphs, and today I'm basically going to focus on using a graph to plot your life map. And just so we can start on an even ground, I'm going to answer 3 questions. What are life maps? Why are they important? And how do you plot one? So to answer the question, what are life maps? Life maps are a visual representation of your life journey. So when we talk about your life journey, we're talking about your life from 0 to your current age. What are the things that have shaped your life? What are the things that have informed your character, your persona, and the way you're basically showing up? As human beings, we go through various experiences every day. There's so many things we go through that we just never stop to analyze. It's like autopilot. You go through things, and also, especially in a childhood stage, you have the ability to push certain things into your subconscious. You kind of make yourself believe it didn't happen. You kind of make yourself forget that it actually ever happened in your life. However, the fact that it's in your subconscious doesn't mean it hasn't impacted your life. In going back to plot our life maps, it can be a very sensitive and for some people very painful journey. So I must note that this might be something you may not be able to do in one sitting, or it may take you time to embrace and come to terms with some of the things that have happened in your life. Whichever way, being able to plot your life map enables you to walk back into your own history and embrace the moments, the defining moments that have shaped the person that you are today. But also being able to plot your life map will help you to understand what have been the turning moments in your life. A common question that people grapple with is, tell us about yourself. I've literally had people ask me, what do I say? What do you want me to say? And it's because they've basically never stopped to think about their lives. They've never stopped to analyze who they are and what has shaped the person that they are today. So being able to do your life map enables you to understand the critical moments in your life and how they are connected to where you are today and the person that you are, or even probably where you want to go and the things that you deeply care about. So in understanding life maps, not only are we able to chronologically work through the sequence of our life events, but also we are able to embrace the silent moments. There are experiences that are so vibrant that when someone asks you about your childhood, you automatically remember them, you automatically pick them up. However, there are also experiences that are silent in your life. Experiences where you have to think a little harder to remember them. However, those moments have actually defined you in their own way. So in developing a life map, what you're going to need is you're going to need paper, you're going to need a flip chart or manila, you're going to need markers, you're going to need a pencil or rubber, and if you're very particular about the lines, you're going to need a ruler. And what you're going to do is basically to draw 2 axes, what we used to call the y-axis and the x-axis, or what would be the vertical axis and the horizontal axis. And then on the vertical axis, you're going to plot on the scale of 1 to 10. 1 being the lowest moment and 10 being the highest moment. Now, 1 is the moments that have been so low in your life. So the lowest moments in your life are going to be plotted around 1, 2, or 3. The highest moments in your life are going to be plotted around 8, 9, and 10. The average moments anywhere between 5, 6, and 7, or even 4. And you decide how that moment made you feel, whether it was a high moment or a low moment. It's very personal, it's not generic, it's not a one-size-fits-all. On the horizontal scale is where you're going to plot your edge. Of course, you're going to start from 0 all the way to your current edge. Now, in between, I want you to divide your scale in categories or in small groups. So it could be 0 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 9, and then you continue. Or it could be 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 5 to 15, and you continue, depending on your edge and what makes you comfortable. When that is done, then you're going to sit with your scale and then go to each edge bracket and ask yourself, between the edge of 0 and 5, what are the defining experiences? What were the defining moments of my life? Like I said, it's going to be different for everyone. I'll give an example. 0 to 5, a critical experience that many of us have is our first day at school. And now, as much as you think it's the same feeling for everyone, it's not. I'll give you 2 people that plot exactly that, but plot it differently. One person will plot that their first day at school was a high moment, so they plot it at 8. Why? Because it's the first day they got their first pair of shoes, the first day they got a school bag, the first day they got to leave home with the rest of their siblings to go to school. And that was exciting. Their joy is something they can almost feel even as they talk about it. The second person talks about their first day at school as a very long moment and is plotted at 3. And for them, the reason is because their first day at school, it was a boarding school. And that was the day they had to be separated from their parents, and it was painful. They cried their lungs out. It really hurt. So that's what I'm trying to say, that a similar experience that was high for you can be a low for another person. And so it's understanding yourself and how you resonate with each of those experiences. So asking yourself, what happened in this age bracket? And was it a high moment or a low moment? Then on the scale of 1 to 10, give it a rating and plot it. Simply put a star across the edge on the horizontal scale and the rating. And just keep doing that in all the age brackets until you get to the end. The next thing I would like you to do is to connect the dots, connect all the stars to be able to identify the frequency of your life. We each have a frequency in our lives, but for many of us, we have no idea what the frequency is in our lives. I must note that in all my years of doing this exercise, I have never seen someone that has a straight line. Actually, if you come up with a straight line, we have a problem, because life is not a straight line. We have high moments, we have low moments. And so everyone has their own frequency. And it's interesting to see what your frequency looks like after you do your own plotting. Remember, it's your life map. It's your personal journey. So you want to embrace it just the way it is. I can also note that when you begin to look at your frequency, you realize certain patterns. I have had people do this exercise and they realized that there were things that were happening in their lives every 2 or 3 years, but they had never noticed until they started plotting. So your life map gives you insight into your life journey, but more importantly, into the frequency of your life. Some people, by plotting their life maps, have also been able to identify what could be happening next because of the patterns that have been following them in their lives. So there's so much relevance in being able to plot your life map. An interesting activity you can do is with your siblings, just being able to compare your life maps. Another interesting dynamic can be the fact that even as siblings, we will interpret a similar experience differently. Something will happen and one of us will plot it as a low and the other will plot it as a high. And it's always interesting to hear the different perspectives and how people basically resonate with all the different experiences that we have gone through. So after you're done with your life map, you can begin to look at the frequency, take note of what are the common or the most defining moments. Next time someone asks you to talk about you will know where to start from. You can pick up from any of those moments. But more importantly, being able to plot your life map is the first step in learning to tell your story. And in another video, I'll be talking about how to tell your story and how to tell it so powerfully that it actually begins to usher you into greater doors and to open new platforms in your life. My name is Noelle Chirabo. Have a blessed day and a blessed week. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on social media. Have a great day.